Having discipline is more than just waking up early or checking off your to-do list for the day. It's set structure, mental resilience, management, and focus for all other things in your life. So here's how to show up and do what you set your mind to consistently. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Pamela and today we're going to be talking all about how to build discipline within your life. If you are trying to start new routines or new habits, or there is just this new system that you want to start implementing into your life, it can be really hard if you don't build discipline and if you don't start that immediately. There are so many days where you don't want to get up, you want to stay in that warm cozy bed, or you see that it's raining outside and you just want to have a sweatpants kind of day. Whatever it is, we all have those days. Let's be honest. And even this morning, now that I've been getting used to my 6 a.m. routine, I still have such trouble getting up in the morning because it's just so cozy and warm in my bed and it's so hot and humid out. But in this video, I want to share some tips to help you guys if you are looking to build that discipline into your routine when it comes to mindset, consistency, and of course, staying motivated. We are going to be breaking down this video into two different parts. First is mindset and pre-planning to get yourself ready. And the second part is going to be action and everything you need to do to actually build that plan for how you can just immediately begin, just start, and of course make it fun and romanticize it a little bit. I'm also going to start leaving some timestamps in the description so you guys can skip around throughout the video, and if there are any certain tips that you want to go back to and just rewatch, you guys can totally do that. So number one is you need to think about who you want to become and be realistic about it. What are your pain points in life? Where is there friction? What are the areas in your life that you really want to improve? For me, one of the biggest things that I always struggled with was trying to work out more, be consistent with waking up at a specific time, as well as sleeping more and just reading more. There were so many areas that were just really all over the place. Every single week on a Sunday night when I would get the Sunday scaries, or on a Monday morning, I would be like, okay, today I'm going to change my life, and I would probably never end up doing that, which is really sad. But you need to just start, and the best way to do that is by thinking about, like, what kind of person do you want to become? I always knew these are the areas that I struggled with, these are the areas that I want to fix, so I'm going to start by just taking a piece of paper or opening up a fresh, clean Google Doc or even the Notes app on your phone and just laying out, like, what is it that you struggle with, where are the pain points, and how can you fix this? Number two is you need to look at your everyday and your journey as if it is a process. So stop thinking about the result all the time or this end destination and enjoy the journey that you're going on. Look at it as an adventure and really just take it day by day. There is a really big misconception when it comes to goal setting and building routines and habits and all those kinds of things, is that a lot of people think it is about the end goal, it is about the destination. You know, when I have this amount of money, I will be happy. When I have this expensive bag, I'll be happy, and that is when I can start living. But in reality, you need to start living right now. You need to start living in this very moment, and you need to just start with personalizing your routine and making it enjoyable. And I've talked about this in my how to build motivation for yourself and like how to actually achieve your goals video, as well as my how to build a good morning routine video. Those things go really hand in hand, and I specifically mentioned in both of those videos, you need to make whatever it is that you are doing enjoyable, because it has to be fun for you. If you are not enjoying the process of what you are doing and you're not making it fun, then you're obviously not going to want to do it. And this can be applied in all aspects of life. If you are realizing that you don't like to work out, maybe it's because you're not doing fun workouts and you haven't found what's fun for you. If you don't like journaling, maybe it's because you're not doing the right prompts or your head is kind of all over the place. Whatever it is, just make sure that you are looking at why are you not enjoying this certain thing and how can you make it more enjoyable for you. Also, look at consistency as if it is a muscle and you have to grow and build it over time. If you go to the gym today, you're not going to have abs by tomorrow. You obviously have to keep going to the gym, keep working at it, and just know that one day you are going to hit that end goal, but it's about enjoying that process. And everything really is a long-term process. Like, just know that no matter what, at the end of the day, the time is going to pass, so you might as well start now. And this book that really helped me, which everyone knows, is called Atomic Habits by James Clear. It is less than $20 on Amazon. I read this earlier last year or in the beginning of this year, I don't really remember. And in the book, there's so many really cool gems that I highlighted and that I underlined that I really love. And there was this quote by the author James Clear which says, "Success is the product of daily habits, not once in a lifetime transformation. And this is entirely true. You are compounding your daily habits and actions into long-term success. You're not just seeing it as an end-all, be-all goal. You're focusing on the daily process and, of course, enjoying it. Now we're going to get into action. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty of making all of these things happen. So my first tip is you need to just start. It is as simple as that. You need to just start. When I was starting my 6 a.m. mornings, I didn't know like what day I was going to start it. I was like, oh, I'll do it Tuesday, I'll do it Wednesday, whatever. Literally just the next day after I decided I want to do this, I set the alarm for 6 a.m. You have to just do it. Don't try to make it extra comfortable or try to ease yourself into it. Literally, the only way to do anything is to just start. If you want to learn to ride a bike, you're not going to say, okay, I'll learn tomorrow or I'll learn tomorrow. You're never going to end up learning. You're just going to keep pushing it. You might as well just get on that bike now and learn. You're going to fall, you're going to scrape your knee, you're going to do all of these things, but before you know it, you're going to be able to ride that bike without those training wheels. And the same thing can be applied to everything else in life. So just set that alarm the next day, make the grocery list, book the workout class, whatever it is, just start. And you have to get used to the fact that just because you don't want to do it doesn't mean that you can just not do it. Like, think about doing it for the future you. Do it for the you that you don't know yet, but that you are going to think right now for everything it is that you are doing. I always think, like, if I take that workout class now, or if I read a little bit of that book now, the me 6 months from now is going to thank me, because not only am I getting closer to my reading goal, but I'm also getting closer to my workout goal and this and that. Like, everything you do now is just building you closer to that future you, the you that you envision, that dream life, whatever it is that you want. And think about that person thanking you for everything that you're doing right now. There is also this quote that I really love from David Goggins, which is where he says, imagine that you're in heaven, wherever you are, your life is done, and there is this chart. And on that chart, it says who you were supposed to be. You were supposed to be this, you were supposed to be that, but then you see who you actually ended up being, and it was none of those things that were on that chart. And then you think to yourself, like, wow, I was supposed to live this life. Like, I was supposed to be this person, and instead you didn't. Like, you didn't work for that. You didn't push yourself, and you let yourself be comfortable your whole life. Like, just imagine that. And when he said that quote, it obviously wasn't in those words. I just took a little bit out because it really stood out to me, and it made me think, like, you are supposed to be this person, like, whatever it is, like, you are going to achieve all these different things. And imagine if you just keep letting life get past you day by day. Like, imagine if you just keep pushing everything it is that you're supposed to do, or into that I'll do it tomorrow mindset. I'll do it tomorrow. It's like, you're never going to end up doing it, and before you know it, you're going to be at that time in your life where you're going to be sitting down and regretting everything. And it's worse to regret something you've never done than to regret something you already did. Like, if you are just sitting there 50 years from now and you're like, I wonder what would have happened if I would have asked that girl out or that guy out, or you're sitting there thinking, I wonder what would have happened if I would have did this certain thing, like, it's worse to regret that what if feeling than to actually know, like, at least I did it and at least I tried and this is what happened. Like, hey, maybe that girl or that guy didn't want to go on a date with me, but at least I asked them. Or maybe that person didn't want to be my friend, but at least I asked them. And I feel like that just gives you more peace of mind. Next tip is have beginning and end of the month check-ins with yourself. So every month on the last day, I make a Canva deck with a reset and a check-in of the entire month that I just went through. You guys can check out my July reset video where I break down this entire Canva deck, like, step by step, detail by detail. And in this deck, I specifically break it into very specific categories, very specific details, because I feel like the more specific you are, the better. And so I started off this deck by breaking down, like, 3 words that I want to focus on for the month. I specifically picked believe, focus, and grind, because I want to believe in myself more with my goals, and I want myself to just really know you can do it, whatever it is that you want, it can happen. Next, for focus, I want to just drown out the noise more. I want to just stay with tunnel vision on what it is that I want to accomplish. And with grind, I want to just grind out more content. I know that I'm already doing enough. I'm trying to post more consistently on YouTube, as well as be more consistent with my podcast and, like, all my other channels, but I always feel like I can be doing more. And I know that I can be doing more because I'm already in my post-grad era. I am just doing little freelance opportunities here and there, and I'm really focusing on my content, my mental health, and just getting myself into a better place in all aspects. So I know that I can really just grind out as much as I can. But I specifically like to look at 3 different words for the month, because this helps me just stay on track and I can really look back and think, okay, this is what I am working towards. Then I like to write down reflections for the month. This can be different highlights of what I learned during the current month, what I want to improve, etc. And then I pick 4 categories for the goals which I want, and they are usually self-development, routine, social media, and intentions. These are the 4 usually the most important categories. With self-development, it can be, maybe I want to set a better routine. With social media, maybe I want to not be on it as much and just have lower screen time. If it is for intentions, maybe I want to start the day off on a positive note. Like, whatever it is, those are just my 4 categories. You guys can obviously all have your own. And then I also pre-pick the books for the month that I want to read. I like to do this just because I'm a really big mood reader, so I feel like if I just lay out 10 or 11 books for the month and I have them on my deck, I can go back to it and then just pick, okay, maybe I'm in a murder mystery mood, maybe I'm in a romance mood, or maybe I want to read a fantasy. Whatever it is, just having this all laid out for me so I don't even have to think is just the best. And then lastly, I have the focus on like my social plan, my posting schedule, my content pillar, my work days. Again, this is all in my July reset, so you guys can really see a breakdown. And the very last page of this deck is 6 quotes that I want to look back on for the new month. And I like to look back on these when I'm feeling down, or I just really need to motivate myself, again, for any reason. But having this monthly check-in during the beginning and the end is great, because you get to see what did you actually get done, what worked, what didn't work, what do you want to focus on. And by doing this deck, you're setting yourself up for the following month, so you don't have to think. And if I tell myself, like, okay, I'm going to sit down for 1 hour on the last day of July, I'm going to plan out August, then I already have this entire plan now set up for August, and I don't need to think like day by day and waste time in the morning figuring out what is my day going to look like. I'm already building that structure before the month even begins. And again, this can be done so quickly. It can literally just be 1 hour of time that you slot out in your schedule, and then you are already set up for the following month. And this helps you with the routine of just start, because you already have this plan from the following day. Because usually, like I said, I like to do this on the very last day of the month before I go into the next one. So on June 30th, I made this whole plan for July 1st, and then I was already ready. Next tip is make it fun and make it your own. So don't do things that you hate, don't do things that you don't like or that are not going to make you want to get up. In my last video on how to achieve goals and building a morning routine, as well as some of my previous podcast episodes, I really stress on the fact that you have to personalize your routine. You have to make it worth enjoying. You have to make it worth you wanting to do. I didn't like to work out, but I made it fun, obviously, by trying out different things. So I would find some good podcasts and videos on YouTube that I really found interesting. And then that was how I started doing my 6:30 a.m. walks, because I made it fun and I already enjoyed watching YouTube videos. I already enjoyed listening to podcasts. So I was like, let me just add that into a workout. And then I fell in love with just walking super early in the morning, feeling the breeze, and just being up like at that time. It truly has been life-changing. And I think I talked about that in my morning routine video, where I mentioned like some of the benefits that I've already been seeing from just walking and getting movement first thing in the morning. And same thing with my spin classes. I didn't really like going to Planet Fitness and all these other gyms. Like, I've tried them in the past and I just always felt really shy and uncomfortable. And I also didn't want to see anyone that I knew. I just wanted to be in an environment where I can be myself and I don't have to worry about like bumping into my 8th grade teacher. So I ended up finding a really cool studio, which is Cycle Bar, and it is in the town over, and I absolutely love it. I've made amazing friends, but again, I got out of my comfort zone. I found a studio and my sister goes with me, so it's become a really fun activity. You also need to romanticize your routine. Like, have a cute set that you want to work out in, maybe get a new water bottle. Just really make it fun, romanticize it, and make it your own. Also, make new playlists when you are going on walks or you are finding like some sort of new podcast. If you are really just personalizing it and adding in little new fun things, I feel like that can really help you get motivated. I also have role models and people that I look up to. This really helps me when it comes to motivation, because I know that there is somebody out there who has been through exactly what I've been through, or just some sort of situation. They've kind of been through it in their own way and they were able to push through that, and they now have the success that they have, or they now have the goals that they've accomplished. There's so many women women and female founders that I absolutely love, that I have on my vision board. And every night before I go to bed and every morning when I wake up before I go out, I look at this vision board and I just think they were able to do it. They were able to overcome whatever it is that was in their life, and they are now this person that they are today. So it's not an easy journey, but it is possible to go through whatever it is that you're going through, and whatever goal it is you want to accomplish, you can 100% do it. And I also just recently introduced this new app called Habits. This is not an ad, but I absolutely love this app, and it has been really helpful for tracking my habits and my routines. And I've also showed this in previous videos, but I make habits as a task, and then every night before I go to bed, I make sure that I check off the things that I did, and then in the end, or at the end of the day, you can see like a really big point of view of the entire month, and see an exact percentage of the habits that you've completed for the whole month, how many habits you've done. There is even a streak option where you can see like how many days you've been working on this and like your streak. So for example, I have a TikTok one where I like to post at least one TikTok every single day, and I think my streak right now is like 25 or 26. So I've been doing it consistently for about 27 days in a row, which I think is great. And it's a free app, it's good, and I can just see my journey in bigger timelines of everything that I've accomplished, which is also really motivating. In the end, it's really important to remember that life is a journey. It's not about the destination, it is about who you become, and you are so much stronger than you think. And just because things are taking time does not mean that they are not working. You may not see that overnight success. Don't expect that immediate gratification, but just know that things are happening in your favor, so just act as if it's already done. Everything big has always started small, and also just say no to things that aren't going down that route that it is that you want. I always felt guilty like saying no to plans or hanging out with friends, because I always think sometimes I'm like, I'm only going to be young for so long. But at the same time, a lot of people my age, like, they do things that I'm not even interested in. So I'm like, why would I even feel guilty for saying no to something I don't even have an interest in doing? So again, like, just remember you are on your own path. Do whatever feels right, do whatever feels comfortable, and thank you guys so much for watching. I absolutely love you guys. You guys are the best. I've been getting so much love and support on my videos. I really cannot stop saying it. Like, I genuinely love you guys. Bye.